Yep. So, hello, Jasmine Knight. We've got Jasmine Knight here, who is
Woo!
an established drum and bass artist, singer, and songwriter. And we're going to ask her a few questions. So, first of all, Jasmine, um,
Yes.
how did the environment you grew up in influence you to make music, and where was that?
So I grew up in Lewisham, which is southeast London. Um, didn't hang around with the best people. So I got myself into a lot of trouble, like I guess like some young teens. And it just kind of influenced me to just be better, want more, and just realize my worth. Because a lot of the people that I were around, they didn't really have much in like inspire aspirations really, and they weren't really inspired to do much. And I always knew deep down that I wanted to be somebody. I wanted to make something of my life, and I just had this burning desire in me to do music. And music became like a way of expressing myself. Because I didn't always I did music production as well, which was a way of expressing myself. But then like the top line writing, that was the main thing. So even though the upbringing around there wasn't that great, it inspired a lot of music and passion inside of me.
Yeah, okay. I totally get that. Especially what you said about growing up around the wrong people that might not have had the same desires and aspirations as you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really commend you, rising up from that and doing your own thing. That's great.
Thank you very much. It was a tough one getting away from those types of people, but I always
Yeah.
had that little voice inside of me. It was like, no, this can't be it. The life is so much more than this.
Yeah, that's great. So can you actually talk us through the particular moment or perhaps phase in your life that led you to start creating music, like the specific moment or phase? Just talk us through that.
Um, So I've always known that I've been creative from a very young age. I was doing poetry. I got one of my, I think I was 8 years old and I got one of my poems published in a book. So I've always known I was creative, and then I always known that I wanted to be a singer, but at the time, because where I was so young, I didn't have the confidence to be a singer. So I thought, okay, maybe I could do something more in the background, which is where the music production came in. But at that time, I was still quite young. I got kicked out of school. I didn't go to school. I think I got kicked out when I was 13, and I just never got on with all that academic stuff. It just wasn't me. And I tried because at the time, everyone was like, don't do music. That's not going to get you anywhere. You don't look like a singer. You're never going to make it. But I don't know, I just didn't care about what people said. I just couldn't focus in all these classes, and my mum and dad pushing me to do all these, um equivalent GCSEs and do something proper. And I
Mm.
just one day I was just like, and I got kicked out of college and stuff. Not necessarily because I was a bad person, but I was just very distracted. Whatever I was being taught, it just wasn't resonating with me. And then I would just, I'd just be silly and just distract others, and it just wasn't what I wanted to do. And then I was gonna go into college and do something silly like English or maths, and I was just like, I just stood up and I was just like, I'm sorry, but fuck this, I'm not doing that. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear.
That's
But
what.
I was, the moment was literally like, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. It just wasn't me. It wasn't real. And I was like, I'm sorry, but I'm doing a music course. And that's when I went to Bermondsey College and started a BTEC in music, which covered sound recording, working with an ensemble, music theory. And that was the moment how it started. I always knew that I needed to do something creative, and I always knew it was going to be in music or writing, but at that time I just didn't know what. I didn't know what else there was in the world to do. But I finally found my way, and I just stopped pleasing everybody, and I was just like, I don't care, I'm doing music. And I think everyone gave up on me anyway. So they were like, I can't force her to do all these things anymore.
Who are your biggest influences, would you say? And what inspires your music? Like, what's your biggest inspiration and your biggest influences in terms of artists?
Um, I don't really have a specific person who massively influences me. I just say that kind of every artist in a way, no matter what level of what no matter what level they're on, no matter what caliber of artist they are, they inspire me. Just seeing people be themselves. I don't have this one person that I look up to. My mind's not kind of like that. Um, and what inspires my music is just life experience, life, everything that I've been through, everything that I've gone through, and just finding a way to work through all of that emotion and yeah, that emotion, and trying to understand life, why it's happened, what I'm doing here, all that good stuff.
Yeah, yeah, that's good inspiration. And
Yeah,
so you said that other artists uh, kind of influence you,
yeah.
whether they're on the same level or above or below, whatever. But it's just generally just other artists.
Yeah, generally just seeing other people do be creative in their way, or it could be maybe I've seen someone do something and I'm like, oh, I like that. They've inspired me to do something similar, or in my own way. Yeah, just artists in general, just people being who they really are. I
Yeah,
mean, the genuine ones, there are some ones that just kind of just follow the hype and just do things to get more views and all that kind of stuff. But when I see someone who's authentic, then they inspire me just by being them.
yeah, that's great. I think you would do that to others as well. I
Oh,
certainly
okay.
am inspired by artists who just do their own thing, and don't kind of follow the crowd and as such. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's it. You can really tell as well. You can really tell who's just following someone else or just copying. 'Cause I always say be inspired but never copy. Yeah, D&B is like my first love.
and
100%.
what's your favorite thing about drum and bass?
Oh God, it's just the way, it's just a feeling that it gives me. Just like it just connects to me in a way that I just can't describe. Also the culture of drum and bass. I mean, when I first went to a drum and bass rave, everyone, was just in their tracksuits. Everyone was just so happy and friendly. They didn't give a shit, because normally when I was growing up, I would go to like UK garage raves or R&B raves, and everyone was a bit snooty, and everyone had to be dressed to impress, and you had to know all these dances.
Mm,
And then I went to a drum and bass rave, and I was just like, wow, this, I feel like I can just be free.
yeah,
Um, just I don't know, just drum and bass, just it's just in my blood. It's just meant for me.
feeling, and I can definitely relate to how you describe, drum and bass raves compared to other.
Yeah,
To,
no,
mm,
does not compare. It's just there's a freedom. There's like everyone's just there to have a good time. No one's judging. Everyone just wants to just enjoy the vibes and the energy.
yeah, 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 definitely. I
Yeah.
I obviously love drum and bass as well, and totally relate to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, how is it different then writing lyrics for, because you've made music across a number of different genres, at least dance
Yeah.
music genres. So how is it different writing lyrics for drum and bass compared to other types of music, do you think?
How's it different? It just all the different genres just connect on a different level.
Okay.
Um, Not that one's higher than the other. It's just a different part of me that it brings out. Whereas drum and bass brings out this big, powerful diva voice in me, like
Mm,
standing up. I'm in my power. I'm empowered. But then, like house can bring out like a very sweet, lovely. Oh my god, I like you so much vibe.
yeah, that's interesting.
It's just a different version of me. It's not. I go for a different. mechanism or way of writing. It's just a different part of me that
Comes
comes
out.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. And with D&B, it's usually the powerful, the
Yeah.
empowered part of you
The
that comes out.
empowered, strong part of me. But even with liquid D&B, that can be a bit more like I'm writing to house music, a bit more nice, not nice, but a bit more just my light, sort of sexy voice.
Yeah, yeah.
But just like proper D&B, it's just like I'm standing out. This is who I am. Take it or leave it. Ooh, that's a good
Think about
question.
that.
Um, the biggest challenge, to be honest, the biggest challenge I would probably say would be like kind of like how the industry is now, where you have to have so many different hats on. You've got to be a social media manager, content creator, your own manager, booking agent, negotiating. Oh, there's so many.
Yeah,
Because when I was getting into music, it was kind of like typical the record label, the manager would do everything for you. But now, well, you don't necessarily need labels, and there's so many opportunities for artists to do everything themselves. The biggest challenge would be the whole social media thing and really using that to my advantage. Um, because I would just be like, oh, I don't want to go on social media. I just want to go on it when I feel like it. I don't want to have to post content. And I always thought it was a bit cringy. And I was like, oh my God, if I post, I feel like I'm seeking validation. Why am I posting a selfie? This is stupid.
yeah,
But
yeah.
once I started to see it as a business, it's part of me now, and it's part of me as a business. Then I started to think, oh, right, what are the other ways that I can create content instead of just doing silly dances and looking stupid and pretending I'm singing live when it's really, already recorded backing track and, all these silly things that make me go, I just thought I'd just be myself and show more of my personality because there were a lot of pictures that were very pouty, and I just thought, yeah, this is not showing my personality at all. So that's
Mm.
been a big challenge in music, to be honest. And actually, when I was getting into music, people would always be like, "Oh, it's going to be, so many bad people in the industry. Oh, it's going to be terrible. Watch out for this, but watch out for that. It's such a hard industry to get into." But I've never really had any bad experiences like that. I don't know if you've heard that. Like people would always be like, "Oh, the music industry." Like there's ways of navigating yourself through the industry. Not everyone is an asshole, and I've mostly met really good and nice people. So
That's good.
um, I was expecting to have challenges because of what everyone else told me, but thankfully I just didn't listen, and I just didn't believe that it was gonna be, I'm gonna meet horrible people all the time. So I thought there were gonna be challenges there, but thankfully I haven't had many. That's some.
Yeah, I mean, that is honestly, that's great to hear because I do hear from a lot of artists kind of the opposite, especially um, grassroots level artists. I think they're
Yeah,
kind of taken advantage of the most. But it's great that you don't have any stories like that. You obviously surround yourself with the right people in the right circles. So
yeah. I
that's
think
great.
from what I've experienced, artists that just wanna be in it for, like, fame or because it looks good and they think it's easy,
Hmm.
those are the ones who have more trouble, whereas when it's more of a really deep, deep passion for artists who just wanna make good music and work with great people, they seem to have a more of a genuine, calmer ride because they're trusting in the process. They don't care how long things take. They just want to make good music and meet good people. But it's for those that are in a rush and oh, I've put out records for 1 year and where's my recognition? It's like,
Yeah,
don't
I,
work like that. I mean, sometimes some people can get lucky or they know the right people who can blow them up quicker than someone who didn't have the links. But it takes a lot of time, and I think people who just wanna rush through everything, they have a bad time because they also almost come into the scene feeling entitled
Mm.
because they've decided they want to be an artist, so they kind of expect all these things to happen to them straight away.
So this kind of leads nicely on to the next question. What would you say are the main benefits of being an independent artist when it comes to songwriting?
Oh, well, I can work with whoever I want. There
Mm.
won't be a clash with, I don't know, sometimes there's rivalry with labels and they might want to keep you just to their people or who they think are popular. Um, well, yeah, I can work with whoever I want. Um, also, benefits. Um, yeah, just being able to work with, whoever I want and not having to mold myself into just working with all like, oh, this is the most popular person. Because I notice a lot of these big labels, they try and get their writers to work with all the popular people. And for me, it doesn't always feel genuine because it's like, would they have worked with them if they weren't signed to that label?
Mm.
Or it's just like a business deal. So for me, I feel like you kind of are seen as more authentic because you quite
Yeah.
sometimes I see some people are just pushed with other people because they're popular and they just want everyone on their team to do well and it just like doesn't feel organic.
Mm.
So I'm
Mm.
able to genuinely build authentic relationships with other people
Mm.
and because we actually want to work with each other and it's not like a transaction in a way,
Yeah.
if that makes
Yeah.
sense. So it's more you could be more genuine with people. Not saying that people who are with labels aren't genuine, but
Mm.
from what I can see, it just feels a little bit like, "Ooh, would that have happened? Really?"
Yeah, I get that. So just more kind of authentic and organic, like
Yeah.
collaborations and things. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's more time for personal growth, I think, because then you have more time to really digest your life and what's going on around you. Whereas I think if you're with a label, they kind of push you, continuously push you, work with this person, that person, that person, that person. There's no like breathing time um to take in everything that's going on around you and really, really portray that in your songwriting instead of trying to just make catchy tunes all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes songs, they need some purity in them and not just trying to be, oh, I've written the catchiest hook, there you go, you work with this person, now the next catchiest thing. It just seems a bit like, what's the word? A product.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Be more
interesting.
free.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, imagine you you were signed to a label or you had like a song signed to a label.
Yeah,
How, let's say a major label, not an indie label.
yeah.
So let's say a major label, you've got something signed to a major label. How
Yeah.
do you think that would change the way you actually wrote the lyrics to that song? If it was to change the way you did that, how do you think it would?
Because from my experience, they want things to sound like what's out there already.
Right. Yeah.
Don't like things that are a little bit different.
Mm.
They want things to sound exactly the same as what's already popular.
Mm. Yeah.
So I guess that's how it would change. So instead of just viewing the song and be like, oh, that's really nice, that's really cool lyrics, that really goes, it would be like a comparison with what's in the charts right now.
Mm. Mm.
Does that fit? Does that work? Does that sound like that person? Can you write a bit more like this? Can you change this word to that? And it's just a bit like, oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But
really
everyone's goals are different, I guess a label's goal is to be popular and well, most labels these days are to be popular and
especially majors. Yeah.
yeah, and to sound like because I remember when Rihanna started getting popular, then all these singers that sounded like Rihanna started coming out, and then Little Mix or whatever, and then all these other, they try to piece all these other bands together. It's just like it's a roll on effect of just copying and just trying to not just trying to be like everybody else. And
Mm.
I've had that with actually a lot of quite big house producers. They always, when they send me tracks, they're always like, they send me references of all these other tracks that are popular at
Mm.
the time, and they're like, make it sound exactly like that, sound exactly like this person, and I'm like,
Yeah,
firstly, we've got different tones in our voices. That's not going to happen.
yeah,
And secondly, oh, I feel too
boxed in.
limited when
Mm.
someone says, make it exactly like this. I can't. I have to go with how I feel. I have
Yeah,
to write
yeah.
how we feel, and then maybe we can, change a few of the words around or melodies or whatever. But I can't not write how I
And
feel.
the creation of new genres will always, this is what I discovered in my research, will
Yeah,
always come from the underground, and
yeah.
usually
That's
in.
why I represent the underground. Sorry.
I honestly can't tell you how thankful I am for artists like you that
Oh,
this, and you're not just doing what everyone else is doing, because I really appreciate that in music and it with artists, and I know a lot of other people do as well. So yeah, well done
it's
for that. Keep doing that.
oh, thank you. But it's so good that that you realise that on your dissertation, because it's so true. That's where all the real raw creators are. And
Yeah,
if no disrespect to anyone who's at the top or whatever, but they've got the same sort of feel. You kind of know what to expect, and there isn't. Oh, sorry, my cat's moving the thing. um, yeah, there's no rawness. It's just a very manufactured sound or look or talent.
so what does your songwriting process look like, and can you talk us through how you wrote the lyrics to your latest single Together?
Oh, um, so with Together, me, Dopamo, and DJ Rap actually got into the studio together, and we started writing together, and then we did like a kind of little rough sort of. Well, DJ Rap actually had the hook down, and then I went away and took it away
Mm.
with me, 'cause I like my own sort of. I work best when I'm like by myself, and
Okay.
I kind
Yeah.
of finished it off. Or not finished it off, but I just added a few extra things.
Mm.
But usually I like to be locked away in my room, and I just put the music on and I just shut my eyes and I just listen to the music and I see which direction and which emotion the music is bringing up, and then I just kind of run with it through that. So if the music is, yeah, I just tune into the music and say, all right, okay, how am I feeling? Oh, I'm feeling strong, I'm feeling powerful. Then I start humming out melodies,
Mm.
um, and seeing if that melody feels right and could it be better. I start playing around with melodies and then I can start writing words. But
Yeah.
sometimes words just come straight away. Even if someone sent me it and sent me the track and I just listened to it, I might go, I might hear something and just be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna say these lyrics. I know what I'm gonna say. But in general, it's me by myself, music on as loud as possible,
Yeah. Yeah.
sitting with good speakers and just seeing what emotion is evoked in me. But with the Together track, we did sit down together
Mm.
and write that.
Okay. Yeah. Great. And can you either from that track or from another track, like lyrics from another song you've written,
Yeah.
can you pick out some lyrics for us? Like just one line of lyrics or one bar of lyrics, like your favorite lyrics you've written, I suppose, or one of your favorite lyrics you've written, and tell us the meaning behind those lyrics.
Oh God, there's so many lyrics.
Maybe a recent one then, like perhaps from that track Together, or just like a line of lyrics that really, you connected with and are really meaningful to you, and what they mean to you.
Oh, they're all really meaningful for me. I'm just trying to think if I got any like really smart, clever
Yeah.
lyrics. But the one that keeps coming to mind is "Who do you think you are?" Um, I know that's a Spice Girls name of a Spice Girls track, but I did not realize that at the time.
Yeah. So
um,
you are.
what is it? Who do you think you are? Yeah. Who do you think you are? Trying to
So
make me wait for you when you're trying to make me wait for you when your mind's wrong. Trying to make me wait for you when your head's gone. Something like that. And then I think it's time for me to get the right side of love. Just trying to piece it together because there's been remixes as well. So I'm just trying to remember. But basically, who do you think you are was just me taking a stand and standing up for myself. You know, like all of us, we kind of, get into, we have friendships or relationships, where people might take the piss and not respect us, or um not realize how good we are being to them. And I was just kind of, when I heard the track, I just kind of just got like a lost in a big whirlwind of people in my life that was fed up with, and people from the past and people in the future. I just thought, oh my god, they don't deserve to be in my life. I'm also think me and Dopam are going to be doing something special together as well. I don't know if I can say exactly what, but we'll be working even more together next year.
right, that sounds
People
good.
seem to love us working together. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I do know why. We work really well together and we make good tunes, but yeah. Mm, I've started a podcast. It's not out yet, but I'm incorporating music into that. I wanted to talk about just things in life in general, but then also have a more music focused one, because I get asked a lot of questions all the time, so I thought maybe it'd just be better if I just start a podcast.
Yeah.
um
When can we expect that to be coming out?
or early next year.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna see how it goes, and if it goes well, then I'll start like proper branding it and inviting lots of good people on. That's
Right. That's
exciting.
exciting. Yeah.